You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
All writers are prone to becoming so attached to our characters and stories that we struggle to see why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing to full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, shaping stories into masterpieces that can stand the test of time. Editing services are provided for all genres and all age categories. Services range from critiques of the short story through to line edits of the full-length novel and copy editing for those preparing for publication. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites, as well as help with those book blurbs and promotional material. We won't abandon you to the masses. We want to celebrate with you in your successes. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services and prices, visit us at blackwolfeditorial.com.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Defending liberty 1 hour at a time and broadcasting live from the RWB Network studios in New York City, this is the Ryno Report. Always right.
You want answers.
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
I've now been in 57 states. I think one left to go.
We are going to raise taxes on the middle class.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
You are very rude.
We are going to make America great again. USA! USA! USA!
Fellow Americans, let's roll.
And now, here's your host, the Ryno.
The new sheriff in town.
Hello, I am the Ryno, and this is my report. Today, Tuesday, January 24th, 2017. And we are coming to you from the RWB Network Studios here in New York and live on CRN Digital Talk Radio. Are you one of these people who squirrels away money, maybe in a sock drawer or perhaps in a coffee can? You know, while I'm always in favor of keeping a rainy day fund handy, I think Kleber Renee Rocca of Westboro, Massachusetts has us all beat. When the U.S. Attorney's Office in Boston decided to raid his home, they found $20 million cash hidden in his mattress. The raid was part of this money laundering investigation tied to an internet phone company that was ripping off its customers, go figure. So the next time you buy a mattress and you're thinking about returning it because it's a little bit lumpy, you might want to check inside of it. All right, let's get to today's headlines. First, from pre-flight antics to mild cannibalism, liberals from across the country are lashing out against supporters of President Trump. All this from the people who brought us, safe spaces and therapy dogs. What has gotten into them, and are they really ready to fight the war they're trying to start? Also, in an unprecedented move, President Trump meets with skilled trades union leaders at the White House. While the conversation reportedly surrounded infrastructure, could this be the first move in taking a proactive step towards defunding the Democrat Party? And is Trump's federal worker hiring freeze purely coincidence? Plus, 2 GOP senators put forth their idea for replacing Obamacare, while some people say it does not go far enough. Could it be the only plan that actually receives bipartisan support? We have all that along with these little extra nuggets. A new Reuters poll suggests strong support for Cal exit. You have one loony left SNL writer isn't laughing anymore. And we'll take a look at the possible faces that could be running the new racist DNC in the future. We have all that, plus the Daily Dose of Common Sense you can only find here on the Ryno Report. But first, let's kick the show off the same way we always do. Let's salute our country with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The kids saying the pledge. All right, guys, check out RynoReport.com for new articles. You can sign up for that newsletter and also check out all of our affiliate stations. Some are pretty new and they're up there listed. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at Ryno, R-Y-N-O, on air. Same on Gab, at Ryno on air. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/The Ryno Report. And you can always email me. You guys know this. Ryno, R-Y-N-O, at rwbnetwork.com. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hey guys, Ryan the Ryno DeSico here for my friends at Liberty HealthShare. If your health care has become a burden and you're worried about being stuck for another year, listen up, because you do have options. Liberty HealthShare could be the solution to your problem. Open enrollment is here, and this could be your chance to free yourself from insurance. Take this opportunity and join Liberty HealthShare. You can finally be in control and have freedom when it comes to your health care. Liberty HealthShare offers an entirely open network, which means you choose your own doctors and you choose your own hospitals. Liberty HealthShare offers freedom from insurance, meaning there are no related tax penalties. To find out how you can easily make the change, call Liberty HealthShare today at 855-585-4237 or visit their website at libertyhealthshare.org. That's libertyhealthshare.org. Do it today. All right, welcome back to the Ryno Report. A little 60-second break there. We're off and running. Big shout-outs to everyone listening. Red Nation Rising Radio, streaming talk radio, and, of course, KLRN Radio. And a big hello to everyone listening on crntalk.com or on the CRN app or all the various different stations they're on across the country. Big hello to you guys. And you got to download that app at your Google Play or your iTunes store. It's for free, and you can take us wherever you go. You do not want to miss that. You got to get the daily dose of common sense every single day. I get it. It's like a drug. Also, you can go to RynoReport.com, and you can go to the Listen Now page. And there's a little link there. You just click it, and you can listen now. It's magic how it works. You can also click another link, and you can plug in your zip code, and it'll tell you where you can hear the Ryno Report in your area. We are making lots of strides here, lots of technical advances here on the Ryno Report, and we're not looking back. Not looking back. So, people, we're making strides in the right direction. But there are some people who are just regressing at a rapid rate. And yes, I'm talking about these Hillary supporters. What has gotten into them? They are nuts. They're crazy. They have these therapy dogs and these Play-Doh parties and hot cocoa and safe spaces, but they are so willing and so ready to take your safe space away. You don't get one. They get them. You don't get one. And whether that's because you enjoy white privilege, that might be the case. If you listen to this forum they had by the DNC, CNN, or Joy-Ann Reid, listen, if you're looking to listen or watch somebody who has lost all touch with reality, Joy-Ann Reid is a good place to start. They hosted this forum, and all these people who are vying for the next head of the DNC, they came out, and we're going to go over this much later, but they came out and they blamed everything on America on white people. That's what they did. All of our problems stem from people like me, which is perhaps why I'm not part of their party, because I do not agree with them. But they're regressing. It's like in life, you have to flourish, you have to progress, you have to adapt, right? It's either adapt to survive, or you don't go anywhere. As a species, you cannot go anywhere. And there's this guy in Pittsburgh. They're looking for him. The cops are looking for him now. He got into a fight with his roommate at about 6:45 in the morning on Monday. They were fighting about politics. Now, why you're fighting about politics at 6:45 in the morning is beyond me. I can be on all day. I can talk politics all day. I get the tweets and the text messages all night, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, but sometimes you gotta shut it off. These people couldn't, I can only imagine they must have been drunk or something. So this guy and his roommate, Marco Ortiz, are having a discussion, and it turns a little violent. And then it turns really violent, because Marco Ortiz gets his ear bitten off. His roommate bit his ear off because he did not agree with what Mr. Ortiz was saying about Donald Trump, in support of Donald Trump. So this guy bites his ear off. Reminds me of a boxing match from, 15 years ago? Am I dating myself now? Unbelievable. What has gotten into them? You cannot act like this. Is it like one of these things where they're just so mad because they lost? Is that what it is? Is this the everyone gets a trophy generation on steroids? Is that what it is? Because I refuse to believe that people are civilized based on their political registration. I believe we all have come the same throughout the course of time. We've evolved over time. What is it? Not only that, have you guys seen the video of this lady? I think it was on American Airlines. I forget what airline it was, but she was going from Baltimore to Seattle. And she was traveling with her husband, who had just lost his father, I believe. And the two of them are sitting next to a young man on this plane. He has the window seat, they have the middle and aisle seat. And during the course of their discussions, I guess before they took off, because it's unfortunate, but we can't throw people out of planes when they're in the air right now. We can't just put a parachute on them and say, happy trails. We have to do it when they're still on the ground. So they find out that this kid was flying from Baltimore to Seattle, also with them, of course, and he had just attended the inauguration ceremony. And he was a Donald Trump supporter. He's young. I don't know how old he is. He's got to be, I don't know, mid-20s maybe, just by looking at him. This lady, she's probably, let's call it, should I even go here? I mean, 60? I don't know, something like that. Something in that area. One of these short-haired liberals. And she gets really, really mad because this kid's a Donald Trump supporter, and so mad that they need to escort her off the plane. She's in a tizzy. And the husband's trying to talk some sense. He's trying to say, you know what, okay, if we calm down, can we just stay? And the flight attendant's like, no, it's gone too far. You have to leave now. And if you don't leave, we're going to call the police. This lady was demanding that they move the kid's seat. He can't sit next to me. He's a Donald Trump supporter. He helped put this crazy man in charge of nuclear codes. She's off her nut. Is that what we are regressing into? Is this type of mentality, these type of arguments, is it the everyone gets a trophy? Or is it perhaps the fact that we just don't talk to one another anymore? We text and we tweet and we Facebook and we snap this and we Insta that. Is that what it is? Why can we not have a decent conversation with each other anymore? If I say one thing on Twitter that somebody finds to be mildly offensive because they're not very smart, I get the hate tweets. I get them all night. All night. Everything from I'm fat to I'm dumb. Everything in between. Now, this kid, these people were escorted off the plane by the police, and then he takes to Facebook afterwards. And he says on Facebook, as the lady was removed, I saw that I was surrounded by blacks, Latinos, Asians, and whites, all who had chimed in asking her to be removed and who had defended me. I was touched and moved knowing that later that not all these people were Trump supporters. The black man who took the seat next to me was a registered Democrat, and he and I had a very good discussion about the beauty of free speech and coming together when people insult and commit acts of violence just for having different views. It was truly a great demonstration of America and its people coming together and standing up for one another. That's what this individual, Scott Kateski, that's his name, Scott Kateski, that's what he put on his Facebook. Is that not the right thing? You can disagree. It's okay. We're allowed to disagree. That's the beauty of this country. But when you start having one group of people commit violent acts on another because they disagree with their political beliefs, that's not what this country's about. It's not what it was ever about. Even in our darkest days, that's not what it was about. So we'll keep talking about this a little bit more because I think I have another idea of where this is coming from. Plus, we got to talk about Donald Trump meeting with the union leaders. This was really big yesterday. And the hiring freeze on the federal workforce. Are they related? I think so. And I'll tell you why when we come back. You're listening to the Ryno Report, defending liberty 1 hour at a time on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Come to Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante in Fullerton, California for our sizzling party savings. Book your wedding event or reception, your birthday bash, or a special event of any kind and celebrate at Angelo's and Vinci's. Come to Angelo's and Vinci's and celebrate in one of our many festive banquet rooms. It's an incredible fun event you'll never forget. Food, music, and lots of fun. Call for the details, and don't forget our daily lunch and dinners, plus our Sunday champagne brunch. Just $14.95. Minestrone soup, sausage and peppers, pastas, chicken dishes, salads, scones, and muffins. Plus so much more, a chocolate fondue fountain, Zeppelis, cannolis, fresh fruit, champagne, and Junior will be waiting to make the omelet of your choice from our omelet bar. Angelo's and Vinci's has been voted on the Orange County Hot List as one of the top 5 Italian restaurants for the past 6 years. And don't forget our award-winning pizzas. Thin or thick, they're yummy. It's all at Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022, 714-879-4022.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
This is Larry Minetti for Herpanacin, the acne medication that really works from the inside out. If you suffer from skin problems, Herpanacin is the most unique and effective formula on the market. It cleans your skin from the inside out and gets rid of all kinds of acne and blemishes on your back, neck, and your face. It works so well, you can look and feel like a movie star. Herpanacin, a natural supplement created by Dr. Wayne Diamond. You take a pill, and that's it. I've been on these supplements, and they really work, folks. Don't be afraid to look in the mirror ever again. Get Herpanacin today. Call 888-467-4200. That's 888-467-4200. Herpanacin, it really works. 888-467-4200. Tell them Larry Minetti told you to call and look and feel like $1 million with Herpanacin. Call 888-467-4200.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Tuesday edition of the Ryno Report. Check out all of the older episodes. Some are old, some are older, kind of like that lady on the plane. But you can find them at iTunes, TuneIn, Spreaker, Stitcher, Podbean, or iHeartRadio, or RynoReport.com. They're all there. So I believe, firstly, I'm going to put that video up on the website so you can see it, because there's like 4 or 5 different versions of it because there are different camera phones going. See, when you act like a moron in public now, this is what happens. People take pictures of you, they take videos of you. I'm glad, I'm really, really happy that I'm in the generation that got to act stupid before there were camera phones, because there's no record of me acting dumb. But I'm convinced these people are just trying to tear this country apart. And it starts with someone like that, and then it goes to like this million-woman march thing, whatever it was called, and then you have things like Cal Exit. They are trying very, very hard to tear this country apart. And we just want to keep it together. That's what we want to do. Now, a lot of this is fueled by a number of things. It's a mishmash of crap that these people ingest from mainstream media on a daily basis that fuels a lot of this. And it's things like unhinged celebrities. I mean, really dopey people who have no authority on the issue, and they're going to tell you how things should be while they sit in their ivory towers up in Hollywood. They're going to tell you how much you should pay for taxes. You shouldn't have a gun. You shouldn't get school choice. While they sit there with their entourage of 50 people telling them how great they are. Those videos they were putting out. Like, all of a sudden, I have to give half a dog turd what Don Cheadle thinks about politics? I don't care. I don't care. Just shut up. And then it's like the Oscars, and you have these 18 different award ceremonies they get to go to, and they make these speeches, these political speeches, people who are so out of touch, again, telling everybody else how we should run our country, how we should live our lives, how you should raise your child. That's what they want to do. You have people like Madonna. Talk about an appeal to unqualified authority. Here's somebody who goes up there, says in front of hundreds of thousands of screaming genital heads that she's thought about bombing the White House or blowing up the White House or whatever it is, suffers no consequences. You have a diatribe by Ashley Judd, another real brain trust, and this sinks in because this gets media time. It gets airtime. And the average dope watching CNN or the alphabets, they hear this. And they say, wow, If this person is so successful, they must know the secret. That's how we look at celebrities. We say, okay, well, listen, they make $20 or $30 million for acting in a terrible movie. They must know the secret. I got news for you. They don't know the secret. They have no clue. They don't know what the secret is. But they want you to think that they know. Then you got groups fueled by George Soros, Elizabeth Warren telling you not to do what she did. She wants to get all this banking regulation and get rid of the banks. She used the banks to make millions and millions of dollars and force veterans out of their homes. But this is what gets the airtime. You have Hillary staffers. This is new. Hillary staffers on Twitter, Jen Palmieri and Nick Merrill and the rest of the merry bunch of idiots, pretty much saying to unfollow POTUS, right, on Twitter, at POTUS. Now, Donald Trump has that now. It was Obama's, whatever. You guys know. So, unfollow. Again, trying to delegitimize, trying to tear away at the very fabric that makes us what we are. We have the most powerful person on the planet, in the known universe, running our country. And they want you to say no. They want to tear the country apart at its seams. And it's things like biting somebody's ear off because they disagree with you. Or, this lady, she was completely unhinged, yelling at a 20-something because he exercised his right to vote. Here's a kid that probably most of his friends were not even voting. Most of them probably weren't even registered. He took an active role in his government by going to vote. And he has to have someone that resembles his great-grandmother chastise him for it. They're trying to tear us apart. And that's the sad fact. There's no two ways around it. You have people like Chuck Schumer who have said they will do nothing to support Donald Trump. They tried to hold up this the Mike Pompeo vote, which, by the way, new CIA director Mike Pompeo. His justices, when Donald Trump comes out and he has, I think next week, his first justice pick, they don't even know who it is they're gonna hold it up. Partisan politics. Partisan politics. Sometimes we have to come together on a few little things. You have conservatives say Donald Trump is not conservative enough. You have Democrats say he's a fascist. What is it? It's neither. And it was never meant to be neither, because that doesn't fit the narrative.
CRN listeners, when you come to Southern California, stop by a great restaurant, the Dresden Restaurant at 1760 North Vermont Avenue in Hollywood. Enjoy great entertainment, like the music of the legendary Marty and Elaine at the world-famous Dresden Restaurant. The Dresden was a location for the making of the movie Swingers. Now you can swing with stars Marty and Elaine. Plus, enjoy great food, too, like French onion soup, artichoke hearts, and many other great appetizers. Seafood, there's salmon, shrimp scampi, New Zealand orange roughy, halibut, Lake Superior whitefish, and specialties like veal marsala, piccata, and parmigiana. Plus, we've got a great roast rack of lamb, chicken piccata, and cordon bleu, and pasta dishes, too. Steaks, filet, New York, Chateaubriand for two. Much more, too, including pork chops, prime rib of beef, and an incredibly extra large cut of prime rib. It's the Dresden Restaurant, open for lunch Monday through Saturday and dinner Monday through Sunday. Check us out at 1760 North Vermont Avenue or call 323-665-4294.
This is a national healthcare alert from the Health Hotline. If you have severe knee or back pain and you have Medicare or private insurance, we have great news. Finally, there's a way to reduce your pain without surgery or taking medications. Call us today and learn how you can qualify to get a pain-relieving knee or back brace at little or no cost to you. We'll even ship your brace for free. If you have excruciating knee or back pain and you have Medicare or private insurance, don't wait. You may qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving, nearly invisible knee or back brace at little or no cost to you. I've used one, they're comfortable, and they work, and we guarantee your happiness. So call right now and get yours. I promise, we're here to take your call. Thank you.
800-290-0759. 800-290-0759. 800-290-0759. That's 800-290-0759.
Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
Located in the heart of Maui's premier resort, Kaanapali Beach Hotel is officially recognized as Hawaii's most Hawaiian hotel and the #1 best value in Hawaii. With a range of accommodations and affordable dining options, this is the ideal setting to turn Hawaiian dreams into lifelong memories. Live Hawaiian entertainment every evening, free year-round children's programs, weekly arts and crafts fairs, welcome breakfast, and departure kukui lei ceremonies add to the value. Swim in the whale-shaped pool, indulge in the fabulous spa and hotel salon. Enjoy Hawaiian hospitality at its best at the Kaanapali Beach Hotel. Call 800-262-8450 or go to kbhmaui.com. That's kbhmaui.com. Aloha.
Kaanapali Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
The smartest way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares first or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane tickets. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane tickets. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines, and you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our live agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? Pick up your phone and call SmartFares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644.
All right, guys, welcome back to the show here. We have to move on because we're going to be talking about crazy, deranged liberals for a long time. They just give us a lot of material. I bet if I really looked, we got those two stories. One was the cannibal guy in Pittsburgh, and the other one being this crazy lunatic on the airplane. I bet if I looked a little bit harder, I'd find 15 more. Just go to Drudge Report, right? You probably look at Drudge Report. There's probably 15 different articles about people like this. But we got to move on because we have to progress. We have to go forward. We have to get our country in a better shape. And this started a little bit yesterday with I was not surprised. I know a lot of people were surprised to see these union heads go to the White House. And this was in the afternoon, in the morning. Some of the big corporate heads were there, Elon Musk and those types. But in the afternoon, Donald Trump sits down with these skilled trade labor union heads. And it's different. When you talk about unions, there's two really very different kinds. You have service unions, service worker unions, and then you have skilled trade. Very, very different. So here in New York, our city is built on union labor. Now, I am for unions in some aspect, and I'm against unions in other. And most of you know I've owned both kind of companies. I've worked in both sort of scenarios, so I know both sides of the coin very well. I was a union representative for a long time, so I do know both sides of the coin. And when it comes to skilled trade, unions are sort of one of those things you don't like, but you kind of have to have. A lot of these guys, if you take your average steam fitter, okay, someone who works on cooling towers and chillers and, air conditioners, for lack of a better word, these guys who go to union school, they go to school longer than a lot of doctors do. They come out of high school, they have to have a GED or diploma, and then they go to union school. And a lot of times the union school is you work your normal day. You work 7 to 3, and then you go to school from 3 to 10 at night. So you're working a full-time job. You're going to school full-time for up to 7 years. So when these guys make big money, it's well-earned. Plus, the kind of work they're doing is really important and very, very skilled. Now, that's skilled labor. There are service worker unions like SEIU, and then you have your government unions like CSEA and AFSCME and these types of unions, and your teachers associations and your nurses association. Well, nurses are a little bit different. Nurses work really hard. But really the teachers and your federal workforce and your municipality unions, these are the ones that are the big problem, but they have the most people. See, Donald Trump, when he did this hiring freeze yesterday, or I guess it was, Monday, he did the hiring freeze for federal workers. Democrats hate this, and it's not because they think they're going to be less efficient. That is what the argument they're going to use is. We need people. We haven't had a workforce increase in 15 years. We need more people. No. It's because it creates voters. Because when you work for the federal government, you get part of their union. You're a unionized worker through the federal government. And it creates votes. And it gets dues. The unions get money from dues, and it's political action. It has nothing to do with getting stuff done. And that's what they're trying to tell you on mainstream media, and it's a complete bunch of phooey. I can tell you that from personal experience. So when Donald Trump meets with these skilled trade unions, this is a smart idea. Because you're going to see, like your UAW unions, they're going to start to lean Trump in 2020. He's already setting up his funding and his political action for 2020. Now, some of that may come via an infrastructure bill, which is reported to be about $1 trillion. Now, where that money comes from, we'll have to address that when it's passed. But $1 trillion in infrastructure would put a lot of these skilled trade unions to work, and that would employ a lot of people, take a lot of people off furlough, and create a lot of votes for Donald Trump. See, Donald Trump knows he will never get the other unions. He'll never get the SEIU, the AFL-CIO, CSEA, AFSCME. He won't get them. They're the unions that fight for 15 and all that stuff. Never going to happen. But with the skilled trades, you saw these workers vote against what their BAs, their business agents, and their local chapter presidents were telling them to do. They're driving around sign trucks saying vote Hillary, but the guys driving the truck, they're voting Trump. And these unions are finally starting to realize it. See, the workers, they have been voting themselves out of jobs for the last 40 years, and they're sick of it. Absolutely sick of it. So to meet with these heads, this was a really, really smart move. And, I mean, essentially you're robbing the Democrat Party blind, because that's where 70% of their money comes from these unions. Donald Trump is trying to defund the Democrat Party. And they know he is. But they're not going to say that. They're just going to tell you that we need to hire more federal workers to get more done. Because so much is getting done right now, isn't it? Yeah. You had Sean McGarvey. He's the head of the North American Building Trades Union. He knows Trump from, I believe they worked in Atlantic City together on a couple of projects. You have Terry O'Sullivan, International Union of North America. That's a big guy to have there. Smart Sheet Metal, their president was there. Joseph Sellers. United Brotherhood of Carpenters, Doug McCarran. You had Mark McManus, who's the head of the UA. These are heavy hitters when it comes to skilled trades. And they're going to be floating towards the Trump area in 2020. So this was very, very smart. Very smart. But you know, once again, you did not see the other unions there. He doesn't want them. He doesn't need them. He knows he can pander to them all he wants. They will never, in a million years, go for Trump in 2020. This is a businessman you're dealing with. He knows where to spend his resources. This is why he was so appealing to a lot of people. Is that here's a guy who knows how to spend money. He knows how to divide up his time to best suit what he wants to do. And he met with the big corporate types in the morning, the union types in the evening, and the automakers today. These are the people that will get people back to work. He was not spending his last 3 days meeting with Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton's not getting anybody back to work. He couldn't even put a march together. Donald Trump is meeting with the people, the decision makers, the money makers, the ones who trickle jobs down, who spend money. You know, these big companies, when they make money, they don't hoard the money. They don't stick it into offshore accounts. They use that money to make more money. They use it to make more money. And they do that, and they hire people, and they open up new brick and mortars. So this is all very, very good stuff. But don't buy anything these Democrats are saying about the worker hiring freeze. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. I think most of the American public knows that already. All right. When we come back, I do want to talk about a few more of these executive orders that Donald Trump signed. We got to talk about the Keystone Pipeline. We got to talk about Dakota Access. Both of these things back on the table. Democrats not real happy about that. Plus, The GOP, a couple of senators, have an Obamacare replacement bill we'll talk about. You might like it, you might hate it. Well, that's part of the course. Hang in there, guys. Hey guys, Ryan the Ryno DeSico here for my friends at Liberty HealthShare. If your health care has become a burden and you're worried about being stuck for another year, listen up, because you do have options. Liberty HealthShare could be the solution to your problem. Open enrollment is here, and this could be your chance to free yourself from insurance. Take this opportunity and join Liberty HealthShare. You can finally be in control and have freedom when it comes to your health care. Liberty HealthShare offers an entirely open network, which means you choose your own doctors and you choose your own hospitals. Liberty HealthShare offers freedom from insurance, meaning there are no related tax penalties. To find out how you can easily make the change, call Liberty HealthShare today at 855-585-4237 or visit their website at libertyhealthshare.org. That's libertyhealthshare.org. Do it today.
Welcome to Staples.
Staples Guy. I've resolved to save my office money in 2017.
During Staples' January printing event, you can get up to $120 off a lightning-fast HP OfficeJet Pro printer. It can save time and money.
Oh, that kind of savings will impress the boss. Maybe this year he'll stop calling me new guy Nick.
Well, there are worse nicknames.
I've worked there 6 years, and my name's Doug.
Resolve to save during Staples' January printing event with up to $120 off HP OfficeJet Pro printers. Staples. Make more happen.
Ends 1/28/17. See store or staples.com for details. Restrictions may apply.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call 1-800-785-9618. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-785-9618.
All right, guys, welcome back to this Tuesday edition of the Ryno Report. Check out all the old episodes: iTunes, TuneIn, Spreaker, Stitcher, Podbean, iHeartRadio, or RynoReport.com for a perfect aggregate of all of the shows. So Donald Trump really busy. We're meeting with the union heads. We're meeting with the corporate types. We're meeting with everybody, the auto workers, the manufacturers. We're getting people back to work, and part of that's going to be this Keystone. Right? The Keystone fell flat. The Obama administration would not pass that last permit they needed, and you have this Dakota Access Pipeline, essentially both the same types of things. And these are going to put a lot of people to work, and it's going to create energy independence. See, that oil is the lifeblood of our economy. So you need to have that energy independence, and the best way to do that is to bring more oil in here to refine it so we can put fuel in our cars a little bit cheaper, fuel in our tractors a little bit cheaper, fuel in our tractor trailers a little bit cheaper, maybe our RVs if we're camping here and there. But you need that fuel. It's the lifeblood. So TPP is gone, not down with TPP. And you have Keystone back on the table, Dakota Access back on the table, and a lot of the environmentalists already not happy. Not happy, good, they're never happy. Unless we're all driving Priuses that are filled with butterfly farts, they're not going to be happy. The Sierra Club executive director, Michael Brené, he says, the Keystone Pipeline was rejected because it was not in the country's best interest. Well, who made you king of what's in our best interest? We need fuel. If you do not have affordable gasoline, you do not have affordable milk, you do not have affordable bread, you do not have affordable anything. Everything that gets into your grocery store, your box of rice you buy at the grocery store, it doesn't grow on the shelf. It has to get there somehow. And it gets there by tractor trailers. It gets there by cargo planes. That's how it gets there. Even if you eat meat, if you just eat meat and you say you don't drive cows with gas, well, you feed them with gas because you got to feed them with grain. Somehow you have to harvest the grain to get it to the cow, to feed the cow, to eat the meat. Very, very simple. Fuel, oil is the lifeblood of our economy. So these, very, very good. Now, something that some of you might not like here. I'm going to tell you about it, and then maybe I'll give you my opinion on it. It was this, you had Maine Senator Susan Collins, who was pretty anti-Trump for the most part, people remember that, and Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy, him and the Sundance Kid here, what they did was they came up with this Patient Freedom Act. And there are a lot of different Obamacare replacements on the table. I think Rand Paul put one forward. Even Tom Price, who's going to be the Secretary of Health and Human Services, I think he even has a plan too. Now, the key here is to keep a couple of things. You have to make sure everybody has access to health care. There should never be one person in this country that does not have access. Number two, the Cadillac insurance, up to 26 years old. That seems pretty important. A lot of people like that. That's one of the more favorable parts of Obamacare. Number three, you have to make sure that pre-existing conditions do not take you out of coverage. If you have a pre-existing condition, you should be able to get affordable coverage. Okay, so keeping those three things, this plan they've put forward, the Patient Freedom Act, is a little different than what we've seen. Essentially what this does, and you constitutionalists out there who say all the time that I'm not conservative enough, you guys should love this. It leaves it up to the state whether or not the state decides they want to keep Obamacare, essentially making it a state-by-state Romney care. I know, and it doesn't sound great. And if you live in New York, like I do, you're going to have it. And if you live in California, you're going to have it. Illinois, you're going to have it. But there may be states out there that don't want it, and they'd rather go back to a private coverage scenario where there's competition between different companies, and you can choose who you want. Now, number one, getting rid of the mandate, that had to go. To make somebody pay a penalty for not having insurance, that's ridiculous. For the federal government to mandate you pay a private company for something was absolutely ridiculous. But this plan that they put forward, some of you may hate it. You may say it's not a full repeal. It's not a full repeal. Right? Hashtag full repeal. Well, listen, we have to play this smart. We have the House, we have the Senate, and we have the White House. If we do not play this smart, we will lose 2, if not all 3, by 2020. So you have to make sure some people who are moderate are okay with what's going on. We can't make health care a partisan issue like it has been. People need coverage. Not everybody who works for a government where they have free access to health care, or a big major company like Google where they practically pay you to take health insurance. Gotta make sure there's access. And this plan doesn't sound terrible to me because it brings it down to that state level, right? The states are in control. If your state wants it, great. If you live in a state and they want it and you don't, you have the option to move. Or you have the option to advocate for somebody else to run your state. Leaving it up to the states, like leaving education up to the states, is very important. Very important. Healthcare should not be mandated by the federal government. The states should be allowed to bid. They should be allowed to do what they want. Now, here's the thing. If you do live in a state that wants to keep this, keep the Obamacare, or as they call it now, the Affordable Care Act, right? For the last 6 years, it was called Obamacare. Now mainstream media calls it the Affordable Care Act, just as an aside. If you live in a state that is keeping it, your taxes will go up because you won't receive the federal money. So, something to think about. Something to think about. Democrat states going bankrupt again. It almost seems too fitting. They're really, really good at it. Well, one bankrupt state, they're ready to call it in. 30% of this state's population thinks it's time to saw themselves off from the West Coast and float out to sea. What do you guys think about that? We'll talk about that when we come back. Plus, who are the candidates to replace Debbie Wasserman Schultz at the DNC? This is a real group of winners. We have a lot more to get to today, guys. Hang in there. One more quick little break.
Experience a luxury boutique hotel escape in the heart of Laguna Beach, California, with the finest art gallery, shopping, dining, and nightlife just steps from your door. The heart of Laguna Beach, the edge of the sea. It's the Inn at Laguna Beach. Enjoy our comfortable rooms, blending the style of a timeless beach bungalow with the modern comforts of today. 70 newly appointed guest rooms and suites await you at the Inn at Laguna Beach. Then, relax at the rooftop bar, where you'll indulge in breathtaking views of the ocean. For dining, you'll find libations and local cuisine on the California coastline, including dining at the legendary Las Brisas, a Southern California landmark. The Inn at Laguna Beach. Footsteps from room to village to sea, located in the heart of Laguna Beach. The Inn is within walking distance of all that Laguna Beach has to offer. No car required. The Inn at Laguna Beach, 211 North Coast Highway in Laguna Beach, California. Call 800-544-4479 or visit innatlagunabeach.com.
Let me take just a moment or two, if I may, and talk about a great place to eat. That's right, for you folks anywhere in the eastern San Fernando Valley, drop into Bob's Big Boys. That's right, in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. Now, everybody remembers the name Bob's. They're getting bigger and bigger every day, and little old Bob carrying the hamburger in his checkered overalls is the same Bob that you remember from back through the years. And, of course, if you want to go in for a great lunch, remember their classic burger, the original double-deck hamburger combination. Delicious 100% pure ground beef in 2 patties with American cheese, lettuce, and our famous Big Boy special sauce. The name is Bob, and I think when you go in, you'll say, by golly, I'm sure glad that I found this restaurant because it's good for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They've got all kinds of things, and all you have to do is remember. Bob's Big Boy in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. It's a great place to eat.
Announcing a new handmade glass collection from Crystal Light Bohemia in the Czech Republic, established in 1794. The tradition of the factory remains, making handmade Bohemian glass with a family heritage and dedication for the finest craftsmanship, creating Czech glassware, the finest glassware in the world. Now, Crystal Light Bohemia brings this new and traditional glassware to the United States, featuring our world-renowned crystal products at reasonable prices. Crystal Light Bohemia also announces our new technology, titanium crystal glass, an abrasion and chip-resistant, shatter-resistant, crystal-clear, brilliant shine, and fire-polished crystal glassware like no other. Smooth to the touch, this lead-free crystal glassware is dishwasher-safe, stronger and durable, yet so delicate to the eye, and it's in demand worldwide. Find out more and order your glassware today at crystallight.org, crystalite.org.
So you've missed the healthcare deadline and don't have any form of healthcare? Liberty HealthShare has the answer. Liberty HealthShare offers an affordable healthcare option that allows Americans to enroll any time of the year. For those of you who have already enrolled but just aren't satisfied with what you've chosen, there's still hope. Liberty HealthShare allows Americans to control, manage, and direct their health care, yet still be in good standing with the Affordable Care Act. Members are exempt from the tax penalty and mandates imposed on individuals for not having health care insurance, thus giving you freedom from insurance. Liberty HealthShare empowers their members by giving them the ability to choose any doctor or hospital across the nation. Memberships are for individuals, couples, and families, offering a variety of options to best suit an individual's medical needs. If you're a freedom-loving American like myself, looking for contract-free health care, then this is for you. For more information on how to enroll at any time of the year, call 855-585-4237 or visit libertyhealthshare.org to request a free estimate. Do it today.
This is Jeff Carlisi from the Band 38 Special. Let us never forget that police lives matter.
You're listening to the Ryno Report, always right, on the RWB Network.
The Republicans want to repeal it. You know, they actually, with a straight face, say that the Great Recession was caused by too much regulation on Wall Street. They actually say that. You know, I remember when, you know, I've supported my husband through all of his races in Arkansas. And one of my favorite political ads of all time was a radio ad, rural Arkansas, where the announcer said, wouldn't it be great if somebody running for office said something, we could have an immediate reaction as to whether it was true or not? Well, we've trained this dog. And the dog, if it's not true, he's going to bark. And then the dog was barking on the radio. And so, you know, people were like barking at each other for days after that. I'm trying to figure out how we can do that with the Republicans. You know, we need to get that dog and follow them around, and every time they say these things, like, oh, you know, the Great Recession was caused by too much regulation, you know? I think we could cut right through a lot of their, their claims.
All right, guys, welcome back to the last segment of today's Tuesday edition of the Ryno Report. Do you remember? Let's think back about, let's go back 7 or 8 months. And we were talking about the demise of the Republican Party. If Donald Trump loses, if Donald Trump gets the nomination, the party is done. It's over. We need replacement from the top down. We need to send Mitch McConnell off on an airplane somewhere, give him a parachute. The Republican Party was over as we knew it. And then Election Day happened. And now it's the Democrats. They are done. Their party's history. Donald Trump is tearing apart their funding at the seams. My meeting with the skilled trade unions. And now they had this forum hosted by Joy-Ann Reid. It's like, who wants to be the next DNC head? And they're auditioning, and you had all these people. Jamu Green, she's been on Fox News quite a bit. She said this forum was 100%. The subtext was white people are the problem. That was the subtext of this entire forum. She says that the Democrat Party has done a pathetic and poor job of trying to attract minorities. Well, let me remind her of something.
I don't feel no ways tired. I come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy.
Oh, Jamu, what's that? That's not trying to attract the minority group? That's your Queen Hillary there. You had the Sally Boynton Brown. She's the director of Idaho's Democratic Party, saying that she's going to tell white people to shut their mouths, and that she's a white person herself, and that she's going to shut down us when we start talking. We can't interrupt her. This was a terrible, terrible scene for a party that, you know what, used to have some respect. Not anymore. They are really going downhill. They were talking about Black Lives Matter, and this guy from New Hampshire, Raymond Buckley, said that the black people in his state have justified fear of living here. Terrible. But you know what? You got to sleep in the bed you make, and they're about to make an awfully ugly bed. This is good news, though. There's this writer, you guys might, Katie Rich. She writes for Saturday Night Live, and she's the one who put out that nasty tweet about Barron Trump, Donald Trump's son. She said, Barron will be this country's first homeschool shooter. And then she had to make her Twitter account private, and then she had to delete her account altogether because she was getting at both barrels. Well, guess what? She's now suspended indefinitely. This is a report by the New York Times saying that SNL has suspended her indefinitely. And you know what? It's about time, because you got to keep the kids out of it. Now, WAPO tried to wrangle in Ted Cruz's kids with those political cartoons back during the primaries, portraying his kids as monkeys. Remember how bad that was? But you didn't see them go after Sasha and Malia much, did you? Nah, they kept them. They were fine. They were untouchable. But Republicans, conservatives, their kids are in play. And SNL has shown this time in and, time again. So it's funny where Jake Tapper said that this was an odious, immoral, and a self-defeating. And when CNN is drawing the line in the sand, you know it's gone too far. Last little bit here, we mentioned this earlier, Cal exit. I guess you guys want to saw yourselves off from the West Coast and head out to sea. Fine with me. 32% of you, according to Reuters and Ipsos, want California to be its own state. This was 500 Californians among 14,000 adults nationwide, taken between December 6th and January 19th. However, let me remind you of two things. Number one, California is bankrupt. Number two, Reuters Ipsos said Hillary Clinton was going to win the election by 11 points. So, there you go. There's your Cal exit poll. All right, guys, a big thank you to all those serving our country at home and abroad. And a huge thank you to those in the law enforcement community. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for all the hard work. Please keep it up, and please stay safe. God bless all of you. God bless all of your families. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. And until tomorrow, I'm the Ryno, and I'm out.
I'm back in New York.